Welcome back to the Grand Slam channel. Today is Monday, December 23rd. Hope you all had a great weekend. We got a full slate of NBA and we got Monday Night Football between the Packers and the Saints. Money line, I do have the Packers winning. Might be a blowout, which I'm going to target some of these Packers for these 3-4-man slip that I have for this NFL game. I'm going to focus mostly on NBA since we have about 10 or 11 games. But let's get started. But recap over the weekend. We did pretty good. Saturday was a profit day. Sunday we broke even, but we made plenty of profit on Sleeper. You need to check out Sleeper. They got 3 promotions running, and for the past 2 weeks they've been running a protected play all the way till Christmas. There's going to be a lot of promotions from other platforms. I believe right now on Price Picks, if you check your promotions tab, you should have a $5 or $10 free lineup or a payout boost. You got to check Underdog, Parlay Play, Sleeper, even Chalkboard. They got discounts daily. But let's get started on this slip. First one I like, I'm going to be targeting for the New Orleans Saints, and probably my favorite play for them. It's going to be Marquez Scantling, and that is his receiving yards at 33.5. Slightly bumped to 32. He's been averaging well over 50 yards. Not many targets the Saints have as wide receivers. Marquez is one of them, so I'm going to be targeting him. Next one is Jordan Love, and for him you got several options. You can take his passing yards at 233. It's going to get bumped closer to game time. You can take any of his gobbies, such as his passing yards and passing touchdowns. Most likely I'll be taking his passing touchdowns. I also like his pass and rush yards. I believe he is at 237.5. You can take a shot on that, or you can overall take his fantasy score at 17.5. Next one is Josh Jacobs, and I believe I mentioned him yesterday, which our slip is still in the running with him. Josh Jacobs, fantasy score, rushing yards, even receptions at 2.5, it's solid. His fantasy score has been 19. It hasn't been bumped up or down, which kind of worries me. Daily Grind Fantasy does have it as a 54% hit rate to go under. I think it's going to be a blow. I think right here you should go against the model of Daily Grind Fantasy, and Josh Jacobs should go over his fantasy score, but I'm going to be very limited on his exposure. But for Josh Jacobs, fantasy score over, and that is a good call. I am going against DG model, or you can take his rushing yards. Gabi at 69.5 will probably be the best bet, either 69 or 79. 79 is obviously a little higher payout. Next one we're going to go with is Watson, one of the primary receivers for the Packers. Obviously, I think Jordan Love's going to be targeting him, and that is receiving yards at 47.5. You can also look into his receiving yards. Gabi, he has several of them. Probably his 39.5 is probably best. Gives you a higher payout as well. And those are the 4 that I'm going to be running with. I'm going to be maybe 1 or 2 slips on NFL slate. I think it's going to be a blowout, so I'm going to focus mostly on NBA today, but these are the 4 that I like. Let's head on over to NBA. First one I'm going to be targeting, Jason Tatum, and I'm going to be targeting the studs for this slip. PRA, fantasy score, points, all in play, especially his rebounds, 7.5, probably my favorite one as a Gabi. Tatum, he should have an overall good game against Orlando. Next one is Wembayama, and for him, I do like his PRA at 36.5. I also like his fantasy score, 48.5, has blocks potential. Rebounds and assists is also in play. Going against Joel Embiid, so taking his PRA and his fantasy score. Next one is Towns, and I expect him to have a bounce back game. He finally sold last time out. He's been a wagon this whole time for the past 3 weeks, clearly almost a month. But last game, he didn't have one of his best games. He didn't cover his rebounds and assists. This should be a bounce back game. The matchup is there for him to go over as well. Overall, I'm going to be taking Towns' fantasy score, but you can take his PRA, you can take his rebounds. It's all the way up to 14 now. Fantasy score will probably be best. Next one is Joel Embiid. He is nearly 100%. Going against Wembayama should be a good matchup. I still think Joel Embiid should put up his productive numbers. PRA, points and rebounds, and fantasy score are all in play for him. I'm going to stay away from his rebounds just for the fact I think Wembanyama can outdo him on the rebounds. So I'm going to stick to his PRA or his fantasy score. Next one is Lonzo Ball, and he's been a wagon for us. LaMelo Ball, sorry about that. And that is his rebounds and assists. You can get him on Sleeper at 12.5, which I took him last night. He's at 13. You got push equity here at PrizePicks. I still like it. I think he's going to average about 15, 16 in this matchup against Houston. So you can see he's been averaging 16 in the past month since he came back from injury. Going against Houston, he should cash this on assist alone. And as you can see, Karl Anthony Towns just got bumped live as I'm doing this video. Still like it at 50. I'm still taking him. But if it goes over 50, that's on you. But I still like it at 50. But as you can see, PrizePicks is on it. These are the 5. They're all studs. I'm going to go with the studs. You got 11 game slate. So I'm going to focus on the studs. Every time I take the role players on a full slate, they sell. Usually the studs show up. So I'm going to be targeting Tatum, Wembanyama, Towns, Embiid, Ball. You can look into Hartenstein as well. Chris Paul. Jaylen Brown's assist, I like this at 2.5. Obviously, it's a popular play. He's been averaging about 6-7 assists. You can see he's clearly gotten over on all his assists. He's one of the best gobbies out there. Same thing with Derek White's rebounds and Jason Tatum's rebounds. These are the players that I like for today's slate. So mix and match, pick your favorite. Suggest you go light on NFL. I think it's going to be a blowout, so beware of that. We got an 11-game slate for NBA. Make sure you take advantage of the discounts, especially on Sleeper. You got to hop on Sleeper. Protected play for the past 2 weeks all the way till Christmas. You can't beat that. Plus, they're running an additional 2 more discounted squares. If you need the code, I put that on the description. Other than that, if you're interested in the Discord where I post all my slips across all the platforms, the link is in the description below. Other than that, have a great day and see you guys in the next one.